When we first began looking at Project Search and bringing Project Search to ABSS, our first thought was what it could do for our students. But we've grown beyond that. The students who are involved in Project Search are dedicated kids. They are young men and women who have worked hard throughout their high school careers, and they are among the best that we have to offer to Alamance Regional Medical Center. But more importantly than what Project Search can do for ABSS and can do for these young men and women is what these young men and women are doing for the community. It's our goal to have all of our students to be an integral part of the community, both when they're in school and after they graduate. And so this program isn't just about what Project Search can do for ABSS and do for the young men and women who are working now at Alamance Regional Medical Center. It's really about seeing our students as being involved in every aspect of the lives of the community that they live in. We want that for our students in general education. We want that for our students with disabilities. We want that for all of the kids who are in ABSS. And this is a way of making ourselves more involved in the community.
We work with families to help plan for transitions for their students. The main part of this planning includes looking at options for students beyond high school. We are always looking for ways to offer opportunities for our students that will allow them to become independent in their adult life. Project Search was a model that really promotes the skills we're already focusing on for our students. We see this as the next step for a lot of our young adults. It's been amazing watching the students go from the classroom and transition into the hospital setting and becoming immersed in the business. We think this will benefit our interns and the community as they see what our interns are capable of doing.
So when we were first approached about the Project Search opportunity, we initially laid it up against our values. So here at Alamance Regional, our main values are caring for our patients, caring for each other, caring for our community. And that's an important criteria for how we evaluate any opportunity that comes before us. So when we learned more about Project Search and what that meant, we really went down those three things. How could this help us care for our patients? How could it help us care for each other? And how could it help us care for our community? And that's what was really exciting from my standpoint, because this was a program that clearly meshed with all three of those values. And that's what we thought when we got started. Now we're a few months in, I can say that with even more pride and gusto. I think that we've gotten tremendous feedback from patients, from staff, and you talk with the students that we work with every day, you can clearly tell that as members of our community, they're getting something out of it as well. So I'm very excited that we went down this path, and so far I think it truly has meshed with the values, and I'm very glad we made the decision and partner with Project Search.
So when we decided to participate in Project Search, we knew that we were going to be meeting our values of caring for the community and caring for our patients. And we knew that it would be good for our employees as well, but we didn't really anticipate how good our employees would receive and embrace the program. It's been amazing. They have embraced Project Search interns and the leadership and have just shared with us some of the great things that these students are doing. They don't want to let them go. They want them to stay in their departments. That's how impactful it's been for them. And we're just proud that we're able to participate and offer this to our employees as well as to our community and our patients, because we think Project Search is making a difference for our employees as well as the interns.
As a liaison, I work closely with the Project Search teacher and job coaches to help build connections to the hospital and the hospital staff. 2 committees were formed to plan and prepare for the interns. The steering committee represents all the community partners and meets once a month to oversee all aspects of Project Search. The site-based team meets once a week and also touches base daily. This team is made up of the Project Search teacher, job coaches, and business liaison. This team worked closely prior to the arrival of the interns to prepare for day-to-day details. We had to figure out how the interns would get breakfast and lunch, where classroom space would be located, and where the Project Search supply cart would be stored. We obtained wireless hospital phones so that the teachers and job coaches could call each other as well as hospital staff. Interview for internships were also set up with department directors and managers. All the planning and preparations has paid off because the internships have been a huge success. We hear very positive comments from hospital staff. One employee from the emergency department says that the rooms have never been so clean. A manager commented that her intern's parents should be really proud of him.
When When I first heard about Project Search, I wasn't exactly sure what it was until it was explained. And then I was so excited because I have a niece in one of the neighboring counties who's part of a similar project, and she now works for UNC Television. And so when I heard about this project, I didn't know what project I was going to give the student, but I knew that I wanted a student. And it was actually funny because I called Vivian and I said, I definitely want to be part of this. And she says, okay, what do you have for them? And I said, I don't know, but I'll find something. So it has really worked out, and they have made a wonderful difference in our department. One of the things that Jason does for our department, we have a special form that the vendor interpreters have to fill out so that we can prove that interpreter services were rendered for our patients that are LEP, which is limited English proficiency. So what Jason does is he comes past our department and picks up that form, and then he takes it down, or first he scans it, and then he takes a copy down to the mailroom or to HIM, and that's Health Information Management, and they scan it into the patient's record. That way we always have proof that an interpreter was provided for that patient.
As a job coach, I began working during the summer months to prepare for the intern's arrival in August. Our on-site team went to each department manager that had expressed an interest in having an intern and discussed different tasks the interns could do. With each department, I then formulated job descriptions stating in detail the tasks assigned to the interns. We then discussed as a team what modifications we thought the interns might need to assist them with the understanding of their jobs. We took pictures of each cabinet or drawer and its contents. We then taped these pictures to the cabinet doors so that all staff could see what should be in each cabinet. In some departments, we made a book with words and pictures of what the area should look like so that the intern could reference to them needed. Some interns did not require pictures with words, and so for them we made a written task analysis to follow. Project Search is really great because it's teaching these interns valuable foundational work skills that will benefit them when they are ready to enter into competitive employment.
After all the preparations, we were finally ready for the interns to start. The first 3 weeks were classroom instruction, and they learned the chain of command, the codes for emergencies, employee ethics, and participated in employee orientation. One of the biggest things we had to learn was how to maneuver around the hospital. We got lost a couple of times, but managed to get to our destination. Our interns have a dress code to follow, which consists of wearing khaki pants, closed-toed shoes, and a monogrammed Project Search golf shirt. During the second week, the interns learned how to compose themselves in an interview, and they actually had an interview with the manager of their department before starting to work. Another big part of the classroom instruction was learning how to get their lunch in the cafeteria. We have meal tickets that are worth a certain amount per day, and the interns had to find what they wanted to eat, add up the cost including tax, and make sure they didn't go over the budget. Unlike most hospital cafeterias, choosing what you wanted for lunch has been difficult because all of the food in our cafeteria is delicious. By the third week, we were slowly introducing them to various internships. They met new co-workers, learned their way around the department, and they began to work a few hours at a time. Weeks 4 through 13, we have watched the interns blossom into their own individual. Being a teacher in this setting is very rewarding. We are teaching our community about the abilities of our interns as much as we are teaching interns about employment.
As a job coach, I get to see on a daily basis successes of our interns. When we first work with the interns on the job site, we are there with them side by side teaching them the different parts of their job. Prior to them starting their jobs, we have developed job descriptions with managers so that we are all on the same page as to what is expected of the interns. As the interns become independent with certain steps of their job, we allow them to do those parts without us being around so they can become as independent as possible. After about 3 weeks, the interns start becoming comfortable with what they are supposed to do in their departments. Our interns will get upset if they have to miss a day of work due to a doctor's appointment or bad weather. They love the routine and consistency of their jobs. By the last 3 weeks of the internship, job coaches observe from afar. and coach them on how to fine-tune the small details of their roles. Project Search has made a great impact on the hospital staff and our community.
The partnership that we have between Alamance Regional, the school system, and vocational rehab is phenomenal. The hospital is like a city, so there's lots of different jobs within the hospital that the Project Search students can use their skills on, and it enables them to develop skills that they can use in the community and break down those stereotypes that people have that people with disabilities can't do anything in the community.
There are several things that this really gives an employer. From my experience, a lot of the people that come to us might not yet have the skills for competitive employment. They might not have work experience, or they might have experiences that have given them kind of bad skills. And so what Project Search does is the internship gives them a chance to learn these skills, to learn various skills in the hospital. Some of them foundation skills like following instructions, being on time, getting along with others, and just being a conscientious, good employee. And that way, when an employer meets these individuals, they can know and have a certainty that these individuals are going to make good employees, that they'll follow instructions, that they'll be on time, and that when they're given a task, they'll stay with that task until it's done.
One of the great benefits of being in Project Search is the partnerships we have formed with the different agencies, and one of the great things that we do here at Cardinal, we want to make sure that the individuals that are being served under Cardinal are being integrated, being included in their community. And with the partnership with Project Search, the individuals have had the opportunity to get on-the-job training. They've been able to be integrated into the community where they live and also where they may be receiving some services. And what we do at Cardinal is once that person has that training, part of that partnership is we want to make sure they have supported employment, make sure that they have the services that would keep them to be continuously strong in the community, continuously productive in the community, so that everyone is being having positive outcomes who've gone through the project.